Hey guys, Jensen here once again, and I know this video comes a day late, but I wanted to take a look at the Gigabyte Marines. I know they're currently 0-3 in the group stage, but I think that this team is actually a lot better than the record shows, and they do a very interesting 3-on-1 that I would like to break down a little bit further today. So without further ado, now imagine that you're Kati, right? You're the mid laner for GAM, and you've qualified for international events 5 times in a row, with him winning with Team Flash and with GAM in the previous 2 years as well. But due to COVID, Vietnam has not been able to attend these events. So you finally get to debut on the international stage in 2022, and you get your signature champion, Victor. However, he does a little bit of an oopsie, makes a few laning mistakes, and finds himself being 0-3 at 10 minutes into the game. After a bad laning decision, coupled with some good support and jungle movement from the side of Rogue, he's put into a rather unfortunate position. And due to his mistakes in the mid lane as well, this snowballs and spills over into the bot lane, where they find themselves 40 CS down due to his errors. And at 10 minutes in the game, GAM finds themselves 3k down to Rogue, with Rogue having the first turret and a dragon to the name. However, if you were to watch the game, you were to find that at 27 minutes, Kati actually makes a great recovery, being up 15 CS on his counterpart, and the 3k goal lead that they were down at the 10 minutes has shrunk a little to only 1.5k goal. So the question is, how did they manage to stabilize this? And as the title of this video would have suggested, it is through the execution of their 3-1-1 that they were able to achieve this. So what are the key ideas of playing 3-1-1? Now this is something that I'm going to break down so that you can perhaps replicate it in your Clash games, or if you're playing with a team, can be used as well. Now, playing 3-1-1 allows you to catch 3 lanes of farm with 1 person in each lane, and more importantly, it connects your support and jungle, something that I always emphasize for strong side lane integrity, and it allows you to utilize TP to respond to potential contests with the one on the other side of the map if your opponents would try to match the overload and contest you there. And the thing is that this is also executable even if you're slow on the map. Generally, against teams that choose to approach through mid, this will allow you to find pockets for you to still find farm and not have the game completely blown open. Now, this performs best, of course, with champions that have a decent to strong dueling in the side lanes. And however, if the person collecting farm on the mid lane might not get access to all 6 minions, and this also considers mid prio and potentially the mid tier 1 as well. So how do you execute on this, right? I can break it down to a few simple steps. The first one is that support and jungle will move out through the side lane with the AD carry and fog. And when your opponents show on the mid lane, you're able to then use the fact that you know where some of the numbers of your opponents are to sneak some vision into the river. And once you get that down, you're able to swing into the other side of the map. Meanwhile, the entire time, your top lane is slow pushing a wave, and you can find a wave to possibly play on at a point of time. So we see GAM doing this in the game at 8 and 40, where we see them overload the top lane, and they get a line of vision through the support and jungle vision movement. And then they swing into the bottom side of the map. This time, instead of walking through mid, they choose to go for a reset, which is workable as well. And note that importantly, throughout this entire sequence, for 2 waves, the Varus is only catching waves defensively. However, once that is done, they are able to find a collapse on Rogue on the other side of the map. And it's through this map movement that is how Gigabyte Marines put on not Gigabyte Marines. They're no longer called that. They're just called GAM Esports these days. And this is how they were able to find that collapse on Rogue. If you enjoy this style of content, please do consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Leave a comment if you think that GAM will be able to win a game during this group stage. I personally think that this matchup on the reverse side in the second week could possibly be won by GAM. And while the chances are definitely looking slim, things are going to be challenging. I also have a Patreon, which I will be linking in the description below, where there will be weekly VOD review worksheets for you to test your knowledge and your analytical skills of League of Legends. And with that, get hyped for Worlds.